What friends are saying about a young man police say died when a car hit his truck in Lexington. And now that other driver faces charges.
I guess it takes a certain mindset to be like, hey, I want to steal this.
Family members of a Lexington man injured in a shooting say they can't understand why someone would want to steal a donation jar set up to help him.
A new season is about to begin for the UK basketball team. We're at Rupp Arena Live with a preview of tonight's game.
This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening. A crash on a major Lexington road killed one person and sent another to jail. And tonight we're learning more about both the victim and the young woman now charged.
Lexington police say 24-year-old Alexandria Rankin was drunk when her car T-boned a truck on Athens-Boonesboro Road overnight. Investigators say the driver of the truck, 23-year-old Robert Hattler, died at the scene. WKYT's Hillary Thornton has our top story at 6.
Robert was full of energy. He always knew how to lighten the mood or brighten somebody's day.
That is how friends are remembering 23-year-old Robert Hattler. Friends say he was heading home from working a double shift at his family's business when the crash happened just after midnight. They say he took great pride in his work.
Someone who, once he got his mindset to it, he was going to make sure that he did it and did it the right way. Just give it his all at whatever he did and made sure that it was 100% committed to it.
Police say Hattler was driving inbound on Athens-Boonesboro Road when his truck was hit by a car off of Hayes Boulevard. The other driver involved, 24-year-old Alexandria Rankin, arrested and now facing charges of manslaughter and DUI.
No one really knows how to take something like that when they hear that. It's just hard to handle and rough definitely on family and friends, and as many prayers and thoughts as I can get would be helpful beyond belief.
Jared Metz and Raymond Borgia, two of Hattler's closest friends, growing up together in Clark County.
After attending middle school together and graduating from GRC together, the close friends then making their way here to Transylvania University, all members of the Kappa Alpha fraternity.
He loved hunting. He was definitely an outdoorsman.
He's an avid outdoorsman, loved hunting, fishing, just being outdoors with your buddies.
Borgia and Metz grateful for their tight-knit group during this difficult time as they are remembering their friend.
Robert was a great friend, a loyal brother, a beloved son, and he'll be dearly missed by all of us.
In Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Rankin is in the Fayette County Detention Center and she is scheduled to be arraigned on Monday. A woman accused of hitting and killing two people with her car while driving drunk is now in jail. Suzanne Whitlow was booked into the Fayette County Jail last week. She is charged with manslaughter and DUI. Lexington police say on October 29th, her car drove up onto the sidewalk and hit Louisville Police Detective Jason Schweitzer and UK employee Timothy Moore along South Upper Street. Whitlow had been in the hospital before being booked into the jail.
These crashes show the tragic consequences of drinking and driving. And Lexington police say the number of deadly crashes involving impaired drivers is actually up in the city so far this year. New at 6, our Caitlin Setner talks to police about this dangerous and deadly problem.
You know, it's frustrating.
Police see so much out on the roadways.
There's really no reason for these things to be happening other than that people are just continually, making these bad decisions and selfish decisions, really.
But there's a certain crime that has Sergeant Randall Combs in disbelief.
It's something that I can't fathom, I can't wrap my mind around.
In less than 2 weeks' time in Lexington, we've had 3 people die at the hands of what police say were drunk drivers.
And we've seen an alarming increase in the amount of fatalities that's happened this year. And along with that, we have seen an increase in collisions that involve alcohol or some type of impairment.
In Fayette County alone, there have been 44 deadly crashes so far this year, and close to a dozen of those, police say, involve impairment. Those numbers are up significantly from last year.
Lexington Police Department says these DUI statistics are staggering, but what they say is scary is that policing isn't the only solution.
If people would just take that in consideration and heed those warnings and kind of govern themselves, it would make things much easier on us and everybody else on the road, and then we wouldn't have to rely simply on enforcement.
Police are begging the public to see the reality here. A deadly DUI crash impacts so many lives. It can happen to you, and it's not worth it.
If there's nobody else you can call, we can help you get a cab.
In Lexington, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
So far this year, Kentucky has seen more than 600 deadly crashes statewide, and of those, state police say more than 100 involved alcohol. New tonight, charges have been dropped against one of 3 people charged in a Montgomery County murder case. A judge dismissed Cody Hall's charges without prejudice. Nikki Miller and Natasha Martin still face murder and robbery charges. Police say the victim, Paul Brewer, was robbed and killed back in 2011 at his Montgomery County home.
They were trying to raise money for a co-worker injured in a shooting, but employees at a Lexington gas station say thieves stole a jar set up for donations. It happened at the Marathon on Lansdowne Road, where Charles Moore was shot nearly 2 months ago. As WKYT's Victor Puente tells us, investigators hope surveillance pictures help them find the thief.
The crime was caught on camera. Last night, 2 men stole a donation jar filled with money meant for a man who had been shot at the gas station they were stealing from. Charles Moore's son, Brian, said all he could do was laugh when he heard about what had happened to the donations meant for his father.
I mean, they looked right at the camera.
The Marathon clerk was shot 4 times back in September. He was paralyzed from the waist down, but he is improving.
I think most people, if this happened to him, they would be worse off than he is, so just with the attitude he has. So.
His family and friends have held several fundraisers with another planned for this weekend. They're also taking donations at the gas station. Thursday night, some of those donations were stolen. In this video, you can see these 2 men talking to the clerk and asking about lottery tickets. When the clerk is distracted, one of them slides the jar filled with money off of the counter.
I guess it takes a certain mindset to be like, hey, I'm going to steal this. It seems like a good thing to do.
Lexington police tell me they have the case and expect to have a detective looking for those 2 men in the coming days. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
The latest fundraiser is going to happen this Saturday at that Marathon on Lansdowne. It starts at 11.
Some much colder air is moving in for the weekend. It looks like we'll also feel a hard freeze. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey joins us with an early look at the forecast.
Yeah, freezing temperatures on the way over the next couple of mornings, with that all-important hard freeze to officially end the growing season likely tomorrow night. Right now, gorgeous skies still out there with some high clouds streaming on in ahead of the colder temperatures that are surging in here from north to south. We're looking at that western horizon with a little star action and a beautiful sunset. Temperatures right now low and mid 50s. It's going to be a quick drop in your thermometer as we go through the next couple of hours. And by the time 11 o'clock rolls around, high 30s to low 40s. That front is just to our south. The push of colder air, though, is right on top of the Ohio River. You can see that with the cloud cover showing up in the southern parts of Indiana and Ohio. That is loaded up from north to south, and it will bring the colder conditions into town not only tonight, but into tomorrow night especially. As we roll forward, we're going to be talking about the hard freeze for the weekend. Clear skies, but changes start to show up as early as Monday. New hour-by-hour forecast does try to bring a little rain into town early next week. We'll track that and look longer range when I come back in a few minutes.
Today, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell talked about his meeting with President-elect Donald Trump.
Senator McConnell, along with other Republican leaders, met with Trump yesterday on Capitol Hill. During a news conference in Louisville, he said he had a good conversation with the president-elect, much of it focused on the agenda Republicans are planning for next year.
Things you'd expect us to talk about, like the Supreme Court, our concern about Obamacare and our desire to change that. Much of it reflected the positions that he took and many of us took prior to the election.
Senator McConnell also said he was pleased that Kentucky Republicans won a majority in the state House. He says with a Republican governor and Republicans controlling the House and Senate, he feels Kentucky will be more competitive economically with other states. On this Veterans Day, many people are taking time to salute those who have served our country. One of the largest Veterans Day services in the Bluegrass took place at Camp Nelson National Cemetery in Jessamine County. 96-year-old World War II veteran Helen Evans was among those at the service. She was one of the first women from Kentucky to join the Army.
I believe it's maybe around 17% of our military now is women, and I'm indeed quite proud of all their accomplishments. I feel like the mother hen, you know.
We are proud of her. She also says she is proud of how far the military has come since she enlisted in 1942. Many businesses around the Bluegrass have special Veterans Day offers for veterans. We have a full list for you at WKYT.com.
UK basketball fans have been waiting months for this night. Tonight, the Cats begin a new season, and the game tips off in about an hour from now. WKYT's Rob Bromley joins us live from Rupp Arena with the preview. Hey, Rob.
Well, Sam, I tell you, Rupp Arena will definitely be alive tonight. Always a lot of excitement surrounding the start of a new season, and the Wildcats tip it off tonight here against Stephen F. Austin. Now, a little bit earlier, we heard John Calipari sing the praises of sophomore Isaiah Briscoe. Cal also praised senior Derek Willis when he spoke yesterday. Willis stepped up last season, made a major contribution, and now Cal says he's even better.
Well, he's grown every year, but this is the most maturity he's had. This is, you know, the best shape he's been in. He stays after every practice. But he came up to me and reminded me we did something in zone offense last year that I wasn't doing, and I said, "You're right." And I changed something, and I said, "Thank you." But he would never have done that. That just shows you he's maturing.
Calipari said Willis was just unbelievable yesterday in practice. Tip-off here is at 7 o'clock. Tip also tonight at the Coliseum at 7 o'clock for the UK women's game. We're going to hear from Matthew Mitchell and much more from the Wildcats coming up in sports in just a few minutes. For now, that's it from here in Rupp. Back to you.
Thank you, Rob. And the Cats have won 37 straight games in Rupp going into this season.
New Residence Hall is opening at Morehead State University, and it honors a longtime employee. That's next here on WKYT News at 6.
And then it's a sign of the season in downtown Lexington. An annual attraction opens this weekend at Triangle Park. New tonight, a new residence hall was dedicated today at Morehead State University in honor of a longtime employee.
The residence hall at the Derrickson Agricultural Complex is named after Mike Padula, who was the farm's maintenance supervisor from 1989 until he died in 2012. Hundreds of people gathered to honor him and his family this afternoon. MSU leaders say he's greatly missed.
His inspiration to us is just unimaginable, just what he did for us, and on an everyday basis, his work ethic and what he meant to the farm and to the school.
This is the second residence hall dedicated at the farm this year.
With that colder air moving in this weekend, it may put you in the mood to go ice skating, and you'll be able to do just that in downtown Lexington. The Triangle Park Ice Rink is now set up and ready to go. It opens for the season tomorrow. For $12, you'll receive a skate rental and admission to the rink for up to 90 minutes. The ice rink will be open until January.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
And it's a good weekend to be on the ice, especially as we go into tomorrow evening, as the numbers will be down into the 30s. Right now, we're on our way toward the 30s. That'll show up in a few spots before midnight. Current look outside at thermometers into the low and mid 50s, gusty northerly winds. Those numbers are going to drop very quickly over the next 1 to 2 hours. Look what's lurking to our north. Seasonal chill into the low and mid 40s here, 30s across the Great Lakes, and that's where the air is coming from. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, we'll do so with upper 20s to low 30s into most areas. So a light freeze, a good likelihood. And tomorrow afternoon, upper 40s to low 50s, mix of sun and a little high cloud cover, more blue skies than anything, though. And that quick drop in your evening thermometer on your Saturday. We go from near 50 to 32 by 11 tomorrow night with clear skies, high pressure right on top of the area. Early tomorrow, maybe a little touch of fog around some of the waterways. Noontime tomorrow, the 40s will be in full swing across the region. 50-ish for a high temperature tomorrow afternoon, give or take a degree or two where you live. By 8 o'clock tomorrow, planning a big Saturday night out on the town. 37 degrees by that time. Look at 11 o'clock, 32, 33 degrees, already down to freezing in a few areas. And from there, we'll drop it into the mid to upper 20s to begin the day on Sunday. Rest of your Sunday forecast looking very good. We'll boost the temperatures up a little bit into the mid and upper 50s. Winds may begin to gust up. Now watch what happens Sunday night into early Monday. Got a couple of systems that are kind of floating around. There isn't a big flow to push them along. This model says that by early Monday, a little batch of rain tries to break out into southeastern Kentucky. It's along a little weak upper level low that may be spinning across the southern parts of the Appalachian Mountains. If that is the case, hey, we'll take it. if that is the case. A few other models kind of disagree with that one, kind of hold that rain chance off until Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm more focused on the end of next week in terms of a bigger weather maker potentially coming our way. By a week from now, we're going to be windy and fairly mild. Temperatures in next week should soar into the 60s at the same time. Big winter storm may be ongoing across parts of the Plain States and the upper Midwest. Jet stream's going to take a big dip as we go into next Friday night and Saturday. And that may be the beginning of a pattern that takes us into a much more wintertime look and feel by next weekend, as cold air dives in across the eastern part of the country. Sometimes you can get that flow just right off the warm Great Lakes with cold air coming across it. You can put some flakes all the way into the Appalachian Mountains. Will that be the case next weekend? Still way too early to think about, but the setup next weekend is one that's getting my attention from a week away, just in terms of maybe getting something else besides the boring stuff that we've had for months on end around here. And we're paying the price, unfortunately, with the dry conditions and the fires southeastern Kentucky. So the highlights of the 7-day, guys: freeze this weekend, shower chance early next week, and a big drop in temperatures next Friday. A week from tonight, we're going to be likely talking about a drop of 30 to 40 degrees coming our way.
Last night after the 11, he had his big WKYT jacket on. I said, Chris, you're a little bit early for that. He's like, I got to be prepared, right?
You know what? I wore it in today, and it was 60, and people were like looking at me, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I know something you don't know. Wait till I leave work.
Watch out when the weather guy has that out. All right, it is a Wildcat weekend. Let's head back now to Rupp Arena, where Rob is live.
And we are counting down to the start of the new season, starting to get close now as the Wildcats will take on Stephen F. Austin. You know, there has been a lot of talk about the Cats' 3 guards. Isaac Humphreys came out yesterday with a phrase and ruled all 3 into 1. Stay with us. That's next in sports. And welcome back, everybody, to the floor of Rupp Arena, where we are getting set for the season opener tonight. Kentucky against Stephen F. Austin, a team that's made the NCAA tournament 3 years running. Now, John Calipari is expected to go with that 3-guard lineup. Sophomore Isaiah Briscoe, along with freshmen De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk. There is so much quickness, so much speed. And when you put all 3 together, Isaac Humphreys referred to it yesterday as one super guard.
I mean, I think individually they're all great, but together, collectively, they form like a super guard. They're all very quick. I mean, Fox is obviously, we've all seen how quick he can be. Malik can obviously jump through the roof, and Zay brings, that leadership and that aggression. So together, it's just like one collective superhuman machine. And partnering with the bigs, let's not forget about them.
And it will be televised tonight by the SEC Network. Season opener, Kentucky, Stephen F. Austin. The tip is at 7 o'clock. Now, the UK women's team opening the season tonight at the same time as the men. The Cats face Miami at Memorial Coliseum. Michaela Epps is back, so is Evelyn Akator. But Matthew Mitchell has a lot of new faces, and Mitchell expects a tough game from Miami tonight.
Our theme has to be, we just really have to hustle on defense and play hard and bounce back from mistakes. We'll make a ton of mistakes, I'm sure. It's just where we are right now. But we do have the capability to hustle, and we're making some good plays on defense.
And we turn to football now. Mark Stoops took his team down to Knoxville today, where the Kentucky Wildcats hope to pull an upset of Tennessee tomorrow afternoon. Kentucky certainly played hard last weekend against Georgia. Came up just short in the end. Quarterback Steven Johnson said this week it all came down to playing for 60 minutes.
We just got to fight for 4 quarters, 60 minutes. That's the biggest thing I took away from it. I mean, just playing really good teams, you can't have any, if at all, any just bad drives or bad plays. You got to play a full game.
We just got to focus better. That's at the end of the day, have that edge and focus. I think they played hard. I think they, but you can't will something. You have to go take it. And so that's what we've got to get back to, and that's what we've done.
It will be round 2 of the high school playoffs tonight. Here's a quick look at this week's top 10. Scott County number 1, Lafayette is 2. They host Tate Streak tonight. LCA puts its unbeaten season on the line against Somerset. Danville is 4, Pulaski County 5, Southwestern 6, followed by Lexington Catholic, Rockcastle County, East Jessamine, and Madison Southern. All the highlights tonight at 11 with Brian Milam and Lee K. Howard right here. And there was some friendly cat-on-cat bickering last night in the NBA. Look at this. Following the Lakers' 101-91 win at Sacramento, DeMarcus Cousins unhappy with Julius Randle and the way the Lakers got physical with him. Nothing got out of hand. After the game, Cousins called it just some friendly UK love. That's all it was. Some friendly UK love. And that's it from here in Rupp. We'll wrap it up after the break.
Boy, downtown is busy. Folks streaming in, ready for basketball season to start.
And then you got ice skating.
And then you got ice skating.
Oh, why not?
What more could you want?
And this weekend looks good for it. Frost and freezing conditions next couple of mornings. Weekend overall looks really, really good. Temperatures tomorrow right around 50.
Another case today of a young man who died in a tragic crash involving a suspected drunk driver. Tonight we'll talk to a Kentucky Mothers Against Drunk Driving representative at 6:30.